Hello, hello. Welcome back to my studio. I'm still Andy Morris, and I'm still working on these little pieces for now. Um, Eventually, I'll get back over there. Now, these little collage mixed media pieces that I'm doing. Um, for the most part, they're just exercises. I'm just playing around. With different ideas, um, shapes and lines and colors and textures. And it's still part of the COVID collection, the abstract faces, if you will. But the process isn't the same, really, quite the same as on the larger pieces. Now, even when I'm on the larger pieces, I'm experimenting a great deal, but that's more so on these. You know, if the intent isn't necessarily to end up with anything that I would ever show, you know, to the public for sale, but rather explorations, experiments and um, just exploring different ideas. So this is kind of a hot mess, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to what would be the next step. If I were doing this in the normal sequence that I do on the larger compositions, and that is to cut in a shape. And to do that, I'll get some of my black paint that is not black paint. It's not. It says black on it. I swear to God, it's not black. It's charcoal or whatever, but it's not black. But I use it as black, whatever. What I'm saying is, it's not a value. It's not a value 9. It's not the darkest dark. See, here's this black. Well, of course, when I put it down, it looks black. Never mind. You'll see in a minute. So I'm just going to cut out the edges of a shape. Uh, one of these. One of these kind of gruesome faces that I do. Go ahead and structure this big mouth here. Okay. I think it's starting to rain outside. That's nice, I guess. Maybe I'll knock some of this pollen out. My sinuses have been going crazy. Okay, so then I'm going to take some color and actually cut that out. You can't even hardly see what's going on there. And what color am I going to take? What color is this? It doesn't really matter, that much. A lot of times I like to use colors that I wouldn't normally use, and then see where that goes. I mean, like don't give it too much thought. Just use any color, and then and just see how it looks, and go from there. There's a good chance it'll get covered up, but yeah, it's starting to rain. But layers are a great deal of my process. I don't know how I would paint without layers. I mean, I have painted some paintings without layers. It's true, but I much prefer to work in layers, layers and layers and layers. with no restriction on how many layers. It's like, you got to get it done in 3 layers. Nope. 10, 12, it doesn't matter. I don't think I've ever reached that many layers, but there's been a lot of paintings that reached at least 4 layers, and occasionally they'll get painted over completely, that's rare, but nearly always, if you look closely, you can see the painting that was under there before, or indications of something previously there. All the world's great cities are built on top of previous versions of themselves, It's true. So, okay. All right, so there. So now it's a little easier to see what's in there, what I'm trying to get out of there. And I don't worry about how far I'm coming over here or anything like that, because I got this handy dandy mat that I put on over it. Boom. See where it's going, where it's trying to go. We'll see if it ever gets there. There's no telling, and it's okay. It doesn't, you can't, I guess if you want to look at it that way, you can ruin a painting. It's, I've felt that way sometimes, like, damn, I should have stopped sooner. But that's a lesson learned, but don't, the mistake that most beginners make, or even intermediate students, is that they make a habit of stopping too soon, And that's, and just as I said that, I realized, well, sometimes that's not a bad thing. So, you just have to keep experimenting, keep exploring, see what you can come up with, So that's why series are great. If you could get, like, if I had another painting that was, well, obviously this would be way too soon. I'm just going to say this would be too soon. Okay, so I know teeth are going to come in here eventually. I'm just going to go ahead and. Now this isn't actually. This is kind of diluted white, so it's not quite white. Might be a value 2 or something. What was I going to say? So with a series, like if you had, if you brought 3, 4, 5 paintings up to the same level, that maybe you had never gone past that level before because you didn't want to risk ruining your painting. So you bring 3 or 4 or 5 paintings up to that level, and you set 2 of them aside, and the other 3, you go on, you keep going, and maybe you reach another plateau where you think, oh, that looks pretty great. That does look better than the other ones, or whatever. And so you stop there, and you set another one aside, or maybe you set 2 of them aside. But then the last one, or the last couple, you go even further. Because if you're honest with yourself, I don't care. I've never looked at one of my paintings not been able to find something to fix in it, But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't think it's just me. You know, I know it's not just me, but maybe that doesn't happen to you. It happens to a lot of us. You know, like we're never satisfied. It's pretty common among ours. You know, and I guess maybe you're lucky if that doesn't happen to you. I don't know, or maybe you're not lucky because maybe it's a good thing for that to happen. You know, because it pushes us past our what we thought were our limitations. You know, but there's a way to do it so that you don't take as much risk. You can minimize your risk the way I just described by having a series of paintings. Now it's trying to do something, right? I don't know how well it's trying. It needs to try better. Try better. You you painting, you get in line. Okay. And I don't have a palette. I put paint down somewhere, you know. Sometimes I use the lid of the jar for the palette. Whatever. I just put paint down somewhere and mix it up. Most of the time I do a lot of mixing on the canvas for whatever I'm painting on, the support, if you will. Okay, so I want to put some lips in here. Yeah, look, those are lips. Those would be lips. And I just cut out some teeth. You know, I do. You know, it's pretty easy. My hand's a little shaky today. Not too bad. And I found personally, I use my little pinky to steady my hand. See, now I can kind of rock it rather than like if I'm just up in the air like this, it's harder, you know, to control the little micro shakes. But if I put my pinky down, I can kind of use it as a pivot. You know, works for me. Pinky to the rescue. All right. So there's some teeth. Boop. I could leave that just like that. I'm starting to punch up the contrast a little, you know, in certain areas. Okay, that was just, there's a little bit of a sheen on there. My lighting's kind of weird today. All right, so that's going somewhere. I'm not sure where. I seem to have lost the ear over here. Do I want it back? Do I want the ear back? Do I want, maybe. First, then I'll have to do something in there. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, let's try. It wants to be a painting. You can tell. It wants to be a painting. I don't know how far to go. Pardon me. Well, can't really see it without a mat. So put a mat on it. Yeah, you know, I kind of like it. Not sure what more I'd do. I'm going to do some more on it. And you know, intentionally leaving a painting, quote, unfinished is a technique that a lot of artists have explored, and I like it. The first time I saw it with a watercolor artist, I think his name was Reed, R-E-I-D, if I'm not mistaken. Don't remember his first name. Charles Reed, that's it. Yeah. And he would have, in his watercolor, you know, it's like in watercolors, it's not uncommon to start with a drawing. I mean, most watercolorists do, not necessarily though, but it's a traditional way to start, I suppose. Maybe it's not traditional, but it's the way that most contemporary watercolors start with a pencil. It's a light. It's not, this drawing's too dark, but I'm just trying to illustrate a point. But you know, it's a light pencil drawing, and then normally, when the watercolor is complete and it's dry, you come back in and you erase the line, the pencil marks. Um, I always struggled with that without damaging my watercolors for some reason, or like I don't know, I just wasn't good at erasing. And then one day I saw an artist that didn't always erase his lines. Like sometimes he left the pencil lines in there, and sometimes he would, you know, he would have the composition. It would be, you know, it'd be the drawing would be there, and then he would only paint in part of it, and it would kind of like fade out into the drawing. And so part of it was a pencil sketch or drawing, and it, you know, kind of morphed into the finished watercolor, and I thought that was really cool, you know. So I started doing that a little bit, but then I carried that idea of intentionally leaving understructure exposed. I carried it into some of my compositions with acrylics on canvas, you know. So you know, a lot of ideas, I guess most artistic ideas, you know, processes and stuff can be transferred from one medium to another. One, you know, sometimes you really have to do a lot of work to get it to transfer. I mean, you know, like like poured paintings, you know, pouring acrylics, pouring oils, and pouring watercolors, they all three behave quite differently. You're going to be, I mean, you might be working on the same materials, but you know, on the same supports you could be, but like you're not going to pour watercolor. Well, you could pour it on the canvas, but it's not going to work very well. You know, it needs a more absorbent ground than that. You know, so they're both, you know, they're all three going to behave so much differently that it's, you know, they become their own processes. Really, the only thing that's similar about them is that, you know, that you're pouring, but beyond that, they're not that similar. That's raining pretty good. I like that. I love the sound of rain. I imagine you can hear it. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Hello, Debbie, John, everybody else that's here. Pardon me. So what would I do with this piece? I got this red paint out here. I don't even want red paint right now. And it's kind of in the way. I guess I'll put it over here. That's kind of neat. It replicates this. I should stop right there, right? Yeah. I mean, sometimes stopping early is a good idea. You know, like you go to make some marks on your canvas, or again the support, and you have the intention of doing a particular thing, you know, whatever it might be, but then some happy accidents happen along the way, and maybe you're like, wait a minute, that looks cooler than what I had planned, so maybe you just leave it, you know, and wait and look at it later. That's a that's a painting, isn't it? Isn't that a painting? Oh my God. You can't paint a painting in 3 seconds. It's an event. It's a snapshot of something that happened in the studio. Boom. Oh yeah, that's $1 million painting there. If I can get it, I can't hold the camera correctly, but yeah, that's a little better. Imagine that on a 6-foot canvas. I guarantee you I could sell it. I guarantee you I could. For how much? I don't know, but I could sell it. You know, and make some money. I guarantee you I could sell that. This little one, I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. And I'll probably paint over it, to be honest. Oh, there I go, being honest again. So what to do with this? I think I'm gonna. I tried stamping on this because there was paint on the stamp, and I didn't want to waste the paint. Even though I waste a ton of paint, but I don't like to waste 2 tons of paint. So I think I need to interrupt this. You know, that's what I feel like doing. So that would interrupt it. Maybe I'll just put kind of a peculiar shape. I'll tear something, you know, instead of straight pieces. You know, just want to break up that reddish orange there. I like that. Put it down like that. You know, that's one of the advantages of collage is as you're composing, you know, you can move shapes around, you know, try different, you know, colors and whatever before you commit to it, and then you glue it down. So, you know, that's an advantage over painting, you know, because if I just painted over that and then didn't like it, that's like, if I got there quick enough, I could, you know, remove the paint, with, you know, and leave what was below it. But if you're working with staining colors, even when you do that, you're still left, you know, you've still altered what was behind, you know, below it. Whereas if you're just moving pieces of paper around without glue, then you know, so that's something that's kind of cool about collage work. So see how that really changed the whole composition, the feeling of it. I do like it better. And now, what am I trying to do now? Hello, Christine. Well, of course, once you have glue all over the thing, it's kind of hard to utilize that same technique. But if you catch it quick enough, you can get it off of there. I think maybe there. I think this would be. I like that better. Right there. Yeah, I like that better. It kind of continues this I don't know, this movement, if you will. Ooh, now I see a face. You see that face? How can you not see that face, right? There's the nose, there's an eye. It's like some sort of skeleton type face. That's pretty cool looking. You know, the neck would be down here, of course, or over here maybe. That's pretty cool. I think I'll have to leave this one for now. Another advantage of having a whole bunch to work on. You don't overwork one painting. You can just, you know, go from painting to painting and move around. So what's going to happen in here? Maybe I want some more lighter pieces. I like how that bit of red relates to the other reds. I don't even know if you can see it though. I mean, it helps a little, you know, to send the color around. Yeah. Can y'all hear the rain? God, I love rain. I've forgotten what that makes me, a pluviphile or something like that. I think that's what it's called. People who love the rain. I wouldn't want it to rain every single day, though. Then I would not love the rain. It rains just about enough here, but I wish it rained just a little bit more. That's why I think I might like the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. Maybe it rains too much there. Probably depends on the location. I mean, I guess some of it's actually desert in the eastern parts, supposedly. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I do want to travel, though, whenever I finally get out of here. Probably should have done it when I was younger, but such is life. I think I'm going to stop. I might stop there on this one. See where this is going. Really choked up today. A lot of stuff in there. But where's it going? Yeah. Okay. Pardon me. Hello, Mary. Yeah. The rain in Texas. God. Well, let's see. I think I'm going to stop on this one too, because I kind of see something coming out of it. I'm not going to tell you what yet. Well, it's a face. Didn't have to tell you that. Huh? A face? He's going to paint a face? How shocking. So here's my little book. You know, these are fun. So they're dry now. So if I wanted to, I could add anything to these. I think I'll start on a new page. Page is. Backwards. Maybe I'll. Where did that razor blade go? Where's my razor blade? There it is. So I think I'll. So that anticipating that this is going to be difficult to close later, I started taking out some of the pages. You know, quite a few actually. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep even half of them, you know, because I got to make room for the ones that are collaged and painted. They get, you know, being thicker. You know, I'm trying not to completely damage the binding. If I do that, then it's no longer a book. This appears. What do I got going here? Maybe I shouldn't fuck with those. See, it's already. Maybe I should go this direction for now. Okay, so I took out some here, so I should be able to do these two. Okay. What do I want to lay down there? Do I want a collage or paint? I think I'll do a little painting. Get a pretty wet brush. Just make some marks. You know, like you used to do when you was in kindergarten. Ta-da. I'm gonna put this right on the. I'm gonna put it right here. Take my palette knife. Move it around. Try to pick some up. That was probably more paint than I wanted. Put it down like that. Then close the book and press and see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's an experiment. Life's an experiment. Only problem is you don't get do-overs. Yeah. Well, I guess in individual chapters of your life, you might get do-overs. As far as I know, you don't get the whole thing. As far as I know, you might. I don't know. I don't know if that'd be good or bad. Like, you know, you leave this planet and you get to wherever, you know, and you're like sitting there with a counselor or something, and they're telling you, okay, well, that was a good dress rehearsal. You're ready for the show. Like, what? I got to do all that shit again. So I don't know. I don't know if that'd be a welcome thing or. You know, that was kind of interesting. Just, you know, there's a start to something. Don't know what. But there they are. You know. Oh, okay. I think you should have some of the collages without adding the faces. Yeah, well, I think that too, but you know what? We both know it's not going to happen. I can't control myself. I see faces everywhere. Faces everywhere. Oh, I did that one. I did do a couple, I guess. Did I? I think I tried to on Canvas maybe a few months ago. How long have I been doing these live streams? I'm not sure. I've been doing the COVID collection for just over a year now. But it actually started with animals. That didn't go for very long before I was doing faces, people faces. But ooh, I just thought of something. I haven't done people faces on animals. People like that. People like people faces on animals. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I don't think I have anything to add today. Here's this that I thought might. That's going to get painted over. Nothing else. That's it. That's all I got.